YouTube channel. It is Jordan. Well, you guys know it's Jordan. I don't know why I said that, but okay. First of all, we're back. Like, before we get into the story, we're back with the 2 braids realness. Yes, I washed my hair, so I'm back with the 2 braids in the bonnet. Y'all already know. Okay, so let's get into the story. Today, if you can tell by the title, is the story of how I caught my ex-girlfriend with her girlfriend. With her ex-girlfriend. So, okay. So this honestly wasn't even that long ago, probably like 4 months ago. So, okay, let's do a little background. So I was with my ex-girlfriend. That was my girlfriend at the time, so we'll just call her my girlfriend. So I was with my girlfriend, and we had like been together the whole entire day. And if you know me, when I'm in a relationship, I like to still make time for my friends. Like, I'm really good about making time for my friends while I'm in a relationship, just because at the end of the day, when that relationship doesn't work out, if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna have my friends still there for me. Like, I'm not gonna drop on my friends. So I hadn't seen one of my friends in probably like a month, and she really wanted to hang out. And I was like, okay, like we can definitely hang out later. And I had been pushing it back the whole day that like we're supposed to hang out at like 2. Then I was like, oh, can we hang out at like 6? Or no, 4. Then I was like, oh, can we hang out at 6? And then it was already 8 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, no, it was 7:30. So I'm like, okay, take me home because I'm gonna hang out with my friend at 8 o'clock. So my girlfriend's like, why do I have to take you home? Why do I have to take you home? And I'm like, because my friend's gonna come over and like I haven't seen her and she wants to hang out with me. Like, I've already pushed it back the whole entire day. I want to go home and hang out with my friend. So she like got like a little attitude or whatever, but I didn't really care. Like, I was like, I have to go home. So she takes me to my neighborhood and she parks like away from my house. And I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? Take me home. And she's like, I just want to hang out with you. Like, I just want to spend the rest of the day with you. And I'm like, we've been together all day, because she had picked me up in the morning. Like, I don't remember what we did, but I know she had picked me up in the morning, and we've been together all fucking day. And that's another thing. If you know me, I don't even like being bothered like that. Like, so already being together the whole day was already like a lot for me. So I'm like, bro, just like take me home. I was like, I'll walk the rest of the way to my house if you don't want to let me out. But like, my friend is coming over, I want to go home. So she's like, whatever. So she takes me to my house, and I'm like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going home. And I'm like, okay, call me when you get home. So the girl I was dating had like really like bad trust issues. So I just to kind of give her a little extra reassurance, like I like to show her that I was actually doing what I said I was doing. Like, if I went out with my friends, later on down the line, this all stopped because she was a fucking liar. But at first I was like trying to be nice and honest with her. So when my friend came over, I was like, oh my, let me call her and show her I'm really with my friend and not like doing anything, you know, just like to be nice. So I call her and she's in the car. This is like 30 minutes later. Y'all. And she lived like 10 minutes away from me. So if you were going home, you would have been at home. So I'm like, where are you at? She's like, oh, I'm at Starbucks. And I'm like, why? Like, you didn't tell me you were going to Starbucks. Like, okay, whatever. Like, that's fine, but like, you said you were going home. So something in my brain was like, ask her to show you the car. So I'm like, who are you in the car with? I could just fucking tell. I'm like, who are you in the car with? She's like, and she laughed. She's like, what? And I said, who are you in the car with? Like, do I have to slow it down for you? So she like, does one of these. And I was like, who the fuck is that? And she's like, oh, that's blank. And she said her friend. She said her fucking friend. Till this day, well, I don't talk to her anymore because I dislike her so strongly. But she was like, that's just me, friend. And I'm like, no, that's not your friend. Who is that? So she shows it again. And I'm like, stop fucking playing with me. Who is that? Y'all. It was her ex-girlfriend. And the way that she literally tried to lie to me and say that it was her friend. So I'm like, bro. And I hung up in her fucking face. And she tried to call me like 30 fucking times. She tried to call me like 30 times. And I declined every single one of them. So I started getting dressed because I was like, okay, you know what? You want to go do what you want to do? I'm going to go out and do what I want to do. So I started getting dressed with my homegirl. And I'm like, we're finna go out. And if you know my homegirl, she's not one to help you like simmer the situation down. She's going to help you fry it on up. She's like, yeah, let's get dressed. Let's get cute, girl. And I'm like, okay, girl. So we're about to leave out the door, and I get another phone call from her. So I answer it, and I'm like, what? And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm finna leave. And she's like, okay, good, because I'm outside. And I said, I don't know why you're outside my house. The fuck are you here for? So we go outside, and I see her, and she's like honking her horn. And she's like, Jordan, yelling in front of my mother's house. And I was like, you need to calm the fuck down. Like, that's one thing, because if she comes out here, you're done. Not me. You're done, because nobody told you to come over here. So I get in my friend's car and we like drive up next to her car. And keep in mind, I'm pissed. Like, I'm fuming. I'm pissed because if you want to do what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. Don't lie to me though. Don't lie to me. And when her and the girl were in the car, when I was asking who it was, they were both laughing. Ha ha he he, like I'm a fucking joke. So y'all, so what else? Okay, so yeah, we drive up next to her car and I'm like, what the fuck do you want? And she's like, just talk to me. And I'm like, bro, like, fuck you, no. So she's like, I'm like, why the fuck are you laughing at me like I'm funny? And she's like, I just laugh and I don't know what to do. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I was so mad. So she's lucky I didn't have a drink next to me. I probably would have threw it at her fucking car. So I'm like, go. And my friend drives off. She speeds the fuck off. And so the girl like follows us to my other friend's house, because we were going to my other homegirl's house. We were going to my best friend's house. So she followed us there, and she was like waiting for me to come out and talk to her. And I'm like, dude, like, leave me alone. Like, no. So she left. She ended up leaving. I told her, like, you need to fucking go. So we got in my homegirl's car because we were about to go out, and she's blowing me up. And if you know me, like, when I'm mad, dude, leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. So she's blowing me up, and I answer the phone. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Because she wouldn't leave me alone. She's like, I just want to talk to you. Like, she's fucking bawling her eyes out. And I was like, I just said, because I'm not really emotional, and like, I'm just not. But if I'm in the wrong, I'll let you know that I'm in the wrong, and I apologize. But I wasn't in the wrong here. You were in the wrong. You're a liar. So I'm like, I don't know why you're crying, because you caused the situation. I don't know why you're crying. So she's like, I'm just like so sorry. Like, fucking, like, and I was like, I don't give a fuck that you're sorry. Like, I don't give a fuck. So she kept blowing me up. And I just, bro, you can ask my homegirls, because I just kept saying to her, leave me alone. Give me some time to calm down so that I can talk to you. You need to leave me alone. She would not leave me alone. That's another reason why me and this girl like broke up, because she just didn't know how to fucking let people calm down. So I'm like, dude, leave me alone. And she kept blowing me up. The last time I answered that phone, I might have scared the fucking marbles out of this girl. I lost my shit. I was like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm like punching the shit out of the dashboard. I'm like, you are so fucking annoying. Leave me alone. Like, I'm just like, I was so mad. So she ends up telling me, she's like, I just didn't want you to be mad at me. That's why I didn't tell you the truth at first. And I'm like, well, I'm even more mad because you're a liar. So yeah, that's how I caught her with her ex. I have a part 2 to this story time, but I'm not gonna put it in this video if you guys want to hear it, because we didn't stop like talking, dating, whatever you want to call it after this. But personally, I was not as great as I could be after this whole situation, because you're a liar. Why would I be honest to you? You're a liar. You deserve the truth and I don't. No. So yeah, there's a part 2 to this situation. Let me know in the comments if you guys want a part 2. But that is the story. A little short story time for you guys. Follow me on Instagram at jordanairiyah, and TikTok and Twitter at Jordan from Vegas with a Z. Bye guys.